Hello, decision makers. Ever feel like your brain is a browser with 100 tabs open? Every choice feels life or death. Every decision spirals into a 3-hour debate with yourself? What if I told you overthinking isn't a flaw? It's a habit you can break. Today, we're revealing top 15 ways to stop overthinking your decisions. From tiny mindset shifts to Nobel Prize winning hacks, these tips will make you say, I used to panic, now I act. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and let's turn what if I mess up into I've got this. Oh, and don't miss 10. It's tied to Nobel Prize winning research on stress and clarity. Let's dive in. 1. The 5-second rule. Flip the switch. Raise your hand if you've ever stared at a choice for hours only to feel worse. The 5-second rule. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Snaps you out of paralysis. A Forbes leadership coach found people who used this hack made decisions 40% faster. Here's my ritual. I used to delay emails for hours until I started counting down. Result? My brain stopped overanalyzing. One viewer raved, I applied this to job offers and landed my dream role. Another said, I now use it to pick what to cook. No more fridge staring. Science snack. The brain rewards action with dopamine. I did something hard. I can do more. Pro tip, pair with a visual countdown app. See the timer ticking to build urgency. 2. Set a time limit. Don't let it run wild. Ever let a decision consume your entire day? A Harvard Business Review study found setting a time limit, e.g. 15 minutes to choose, reduced overthinking by 50%. Here's where it gets real. I used to debate career moves for weeks. Now I say decide by 3 p.m. One viewer wrote, I set a 10-minute rule for grocery lists and actually enjoy shopping. Science snack. The brain hates open loops. Deadlines close them. Pro tip, use the 30-minute rule. If it doesn't matter in 30 days, don't spend 30 minutes on it. 3. Write it down. Unload your mental trash. Ever wake up with a mind cluttered like a junk drawer? Journaling is your mental Marie Kondo. A Journal of Experimental Psychology study found people who wrote about worries for 10 minutes before bed fell asleep 40% faster and woke up calmer. My ritual. Every morning, I jot down 3 things stressing me and 1 action step. One viewer wrote, I used to panic about my to-do list. Now I dump it on paper and actually enjoy my day. Science snack. Writing makes abstract fears tangible, so your brain stops ruminating. Pro tip, try a decision journal. Track choices and outcomes weekly. 4. Use the 2-minute rule. Small wins overwhelm procrastination. Ever let tiny decisions pile up until they feel like Mount Everest? The 2-minute rule, from David Allen's Getting Things Done, says, if a choice takes under 2 minutes, make it. A productivity lab experiment found people who used this rule reduced cluttered to-do lists by 60% in a week. Here's my hack. I used to delay replying to messages until I tried this. Result? My inbox stopped haunting me. One viewer wrote, I added 15-minute focus blocks and my productivity doubled. Science snack. Quick decisions build momentum. Your brain loves progress. Pro tip, pair with batching. Decide multiple things at once, e.g. meal prep for 3 days. 5. Focus on the next step, not the whole journey. Momentum, perfection. Overthinkers love asking, what's the perfect path? While persuasive people ask, what's the next step? A University of Michigan experiment found people who broke big choices into 5-minute chunks finished 70% faster. Here's my ritual. Instead of should I quit my job, I ask, what's 1 action today? One viewer raved, I paid off debt by tackling $50 at a time. Science snack. Small wins trigger dopamine hits. Your brain's reward system loves them. Pro tip, use the 5-second rule. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the first step. 6. Ask, what's the worst that can happen? Fear can be a motivator. Scare yourself into action. A Journal of Behavioral Decision-Making study found visualizing negative consequences boosted motivation by 50%. Here's where it gets real. I used to delay taxes until I imagined an audit. Yikes! One viewer raved, I avoided failing an exam by imagining flunking the test. Science snack. Fear of loss motivates more than hope for gain. Pro tip, write down the worst-case scenario, then take action to dodge it. 7. Talk to a friend. Get an outside perspective. Ever spiral over a choice and realize you're the only one making it harder? A Mayo Clinic review found 90% of overthinkers benefited from external input. Here's my ritual. I used to isolate during big choices. Now I call my sister and say, I'm stuck. Help me see clearly. One viewer wrote, I texted my mentor and now I'm thriving. Science snack. Mirror neurons fire when you talk through problems. It's like a mental reset. Pro tip, ask, what would you do? They'll give you clarity, not drama. 8. Practice mindfulness. Live in the now. Overthinkers live in the future or the past. Mindfulness pulls you back. A Harvard Business Review study found slow, deep breathing lowers heart rate and stabilizes blood pressure. Here's my ritual. I do 4 cycles of box breathing. Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4 before big calls. One viewer raved, I used to panic 2 hours before meetings. Now I breathe and feel like a CEO. Science snack. Mindfulness reduces cortisol by 25% and boosts gray matter in the brain. Pro tip, pair with cold water on your face. The mammalian dive reflex supercharges the reset. 9. Cold exposure. The Nobel hack for clarity. Okay, this one sounds wild, but hear me out. Nobel Prize-winning research on cold adaptation found short bursts of cold, like a 30-second splash, boost brown fat, which sharpens focus and silences emotional noise. When I had a big decision, I did a cold plunge. Result? My mind snapped into gear. One viewer wrote, I cold dipped before quitting my job and felt unstoppable. Science snack. Cold exposure activates norepinephrine, a hormone that zaps mental fog. Pro tip, start small, splash wrists or take brisk walks. 10. Use the gray rock method. Fade into the background. Gray rock is genius. Act emotionally uninteresting, like a gray rock. A therapist's guide to emotional detachment found this cut overthinking by 80%. Here's my ritual. During a crisis, I keep responses short and neutral. That's interesting. One viewer wrote, I became a gray rock and the guilt tripping stopped. Science snack. Overthinkers crave closure, starve the brain of drama. Pro tip, avoid oversharing, keep updates vague. I'm fine, thanks. 11. Visualize the best outcome. Rewrite the story. Olympians do it. CEOs do it. Why not you? A sports medicine study found mentally rehearsing success increases real-world performance by 30%. Here's my hack. Before big calls, I visualize crushing it. One viewer raved, I imagined acing my pitch and got the deal. Another said, I visualized my dream job and landed it. Science snack. Visualization primes your brain to act decisively. Pro tip, add sensory details. Smell, sounds, even your heartbeat. 12. Accept good enough. Beat perfectionism. Ever delay a choice because it's not perfect? A psychological science study found perfectionists take 3 acts longer to decide and often regret it. Here's my ritual. I swapped is this flawless with is this good enough to move forward. One viewer wrote, I stopped editing my resume for months and finally applied for my dream job. Science snack. Perfectionism rewires your brain to fear mistakes. Pro tip, use the 80% rule. Good enough is better than stalled. 13. Limit research time. Don't drown in data. Ever Google a decision for hours only to feel more confused? A Stanford experiment found limiting research to 20 minutes increased decision-making by 60%. Here's where it gets real. I used to read 10 articles on best job choices. Now I set a 20-minute timer. One viewer raved, I stopped doom scrolling and made a life-changing choice. Science snack. Too much data triggers decision fatigue. Your brain shuts down. Pro tip, use the 3-source rule. Trust info from 3 reliable places and move on. 14. Use a decision journal. Track your past wins. Overthinkers forget their wins. A McKinsey report found leaders who reflect weekly are 3x more decisive. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. Here's my ritual. Every Friday I ask, what worked? What didn't? What's one tweak for next week? One viewer wrote, I tracked my career moves and now I trust myself. Another said, I stopped doubting my parenting after reviewing wins. Science snack. Reflection triggers neuroplasticity. Your brain learns to avoid drama. Pro tip, celebrate wins, no matter how small. 15. Trust your gut. Intuition isn't magic. Ever get a hunch and ignore it? A University of Chicago study found trusting intuition increased decision confidence by 40%. Here's my ritual. I used to overanalyze relationships until I asked, what does my gut say? One viewer wrote, I trusted my gut on a job offer and dodged a nightmare. Another said, I stopped ignoring my instincts and now I'm thriving. Science snack. Gut feelings come from experience. Your brain's pattern recognition center. Pro tip. Ask, what would my future self do? Which tip hit home? Let me know in the comments. I love hearing your stories. Smash that subscribe button if you're ready to own your worth and tap the bell so you never miss a tip. Until next time, remember, overthinking isn't weakness, it's a signal to get smarter.